Okay, so I will be starting now, and we'll be waiting for more members to join in as soon as the session proceeds. So today our topic is about SolidWorks. I hope I'm audible, right? Just let me know once anyone.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, so fine. Good. Is my screen visible?
Yeah,
Okay, that's great.
everything
That's
is
good.
fine.
Okay, fine. Okay, so today our session is about introduction to SolidWorks, and I hope that all the audiences over here that are present, they must be having quite a bit idea about what is SolidWorks. Is there anyone who has absolutely no idea about the software?
Yeah, we are doing one competition of Akruti, so which is
Yeah,
based
so
on
yeah, you must be having an idea. There were the four topics they were given to you guys. I guess you must be having a good idea about the
yeah.
software, isn't it? Okay, then that's nice. That's nice. Cool. So for those who are not involved in any competitive competitions that are related to designing in SolidWorks, or they don't have any idea about Akruti, I'll just give you a brief sum up about what the software is. So SolidWorks is a software that we engineers have been using for a pretty long time, and its main function is just to design, and it has a lot of versatility. I mean, you can basically begin with basic designing of stuff, give various shapes, make various structures, and there is endless possibilities of what you can create inside SolidWorks. But that will be mainly the topic of what we'll be covering today. But if you want to go more deep into the topic, there are always I mean, there's always scope for more topics. If anyone is uncomfortable with English, then I can translate it in Hindi as well. ऐसी कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं हो रही ना इंग्लिश की वजह से? हेलो. I guess okay, it's not a problem. Fine. So about the scope of SolidWorks, I was telling. So there is more than just to designing in SolidWorks. We can perform design study, we can create animations, and so many more things inside SolidWorks. So let's begin our topic with today's introductory session on what all are basic stuffs that you need to know in order to get started with SolidWorks. So moving on to the next slide, we can see over here, I'm going to give you an overview of what are the topics that are involved in today's lectures. They'll be consisting of around 4 lectures, and I guess that will be more than enough for you guys to understand or to create very basic or simple stuffs in SolidWorks. Fine. Now, creating a new file, sketches and planes, two-dimensional sketches in SolidWorks features. So creating a new file, I mean, I guess it's pretty simple how to create a new file in any software that you use these days, either be it Microsoft Office, be it Microsoft Word. It's just you're going to do the options, press new. So yeah, that's it. So we create a new file. Now going to the next topic, we have over here is, this is the first page that you see as you open the SolidWorks software. It asks you whether you want to create parts, assemblies, or a drawing. So I guess my mouse is visible over here. Is it?
Your PPT is stuck.
It's done.
Yeah,
Hold on, wait. Are you in which slide are you able to see? Are you able to see the slide with creating a new
First,
file?
first, first
see
slide
first.
on the
Okay,
introduction to SolidWorks.
Yeah,
okay, okay. Hold on. Just a moment.
you can reshare.
Hold on. Stop presenting. Yeah,
Tabish, share your screen.
yeah. Hold on. I'm doing that. Entire screen. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Hold up. How about now? Is it fine? Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's fine now.
Yeah, okay. So about the overview topic that I was speaking about earlier. Yeah, so these are the main 4 topics in the first lecture that I'll be covering. That is creating a new file, sketches and planes, two-dimensional sketches, and SolidWorks features. Now, creating a new file. Obviously, we all know what this file option is. We go to this, press the left click, and then it shows what do you want to create. So even if you don't do that, the default setting of SolidWorks is that when you open the software, it brings you to this tab over here, this window right here, this big thingy, and it has a lot of options. It seems pretty complex at the beginning, but all you got to do is just press this part button, and part is basically it helps you create a part. Now, one must be asking me, what is the difference between a part, assembly, and a drawing? So I would like to take this opportunity to explain that part is usually it's used to make something that is completely individual, and it has its own uniqueness. Like there are various parts inside the machine, so you can say that each part, a machine comprises of different parts. So you can design each and every part of a machine whilst you are inside the part feature. Now, next comes the assembly. Now, imagine you have a lot of parts of a machine, and what you want to do is you want to bring them together and make them into a functionable machine. So, for that feature, we go to the assembly, and that assembly helps us in not only assembling the features but also helps us in being able to perform various studies on it, like heat transfer study, or be it the fluid dynamics analysis, or the CFD, the computational fluid dynamics. There, and I mean, I just can't stop speaking about what are the uh, possibilities with this. And every year the software keeps evolving. Speaking of which, every year I would like to share with you something important at the end of the talk, this lecture, and I hope someone of you in the group who is listening to the lectures will be able to remind me of this. Okay, now coming to this home page. Now, as you've selected the part dialog part feature, this is the first thing that you see when you enter the home page. Now, you can see there are a lot of options over here: sketch, surfaces, SolidWorks add-ins, evaluate, and features. Now, coming on to sketch. Okay, now if anyone is not able to understand this just by the SolidWorks presentation that I'm showing you right now, I will be able to do it on the software side by side. So this is the software. I hope everyone can see this. Is it possible? Hello.
Yes, you are visible. Yes, it's visible.
Okay, fine. So okay, so as I select the part column, you can see there's a new tab opening up soon, and it takes us to the home page of this thing. Okay. Now we begin with is sketch. So as I was showing you in my presentation, that wait, where is this thing? Hold up. Wait, yeah, this one, home page. So we begin with home page, and it shows us the sketch feature. Now we all know basic drawing and all that stuff. In paint you have been having an idea about, you can be able you're able to create various rectangles, squares, and I guess all of you must have used paint and all those softwares in your childhood. It was fun, pretty honest, I'm gonna like. So these are the basic features, like a line, a corner rectangle, a center point, straight slot, circle, center point, arc, spline, basic geometrical features that we must have all studied in our younger classes. So let me show you with like what are the different types of geometries you can make at first. So yeah, now let me for beginning. Now what happens is that when you're when you open SolidWorks at the very beginning, what you see is three planes. Now I'm going to show you where are the three planes over here, and yeah, see, so these are the three planes. Now I get you must be having an idea about what is an isometric view. You all must have studied it in your first year in engineering graphics lab. So what exactly is an isometric view is that you don't see any object. If you see an object from a particular dimension, in which you're able to plot the front, side, and the top view of that object, it is something that you can call an isometric view. So this are the all the there are a lot of views you can see over here. So you can see there are six faces over here. So you can see it from the front, from this side, the right plane, or the top plane. You go over here, the top plane. Okay, you can do this, or you can come to the intersection of all these three planes and come to this part. So this is one what you call an isometric view. Okay, now as I showed you, there are three basic planes in this feature. Now whenever you want to create any new line or a circle or a spline or a rectangle or any of these geometrical features, what you want to do is you need a plane. I guess in 12th standard we have a good idea about what is a plane, formulas of a plane, everything. I guess you all know that about that, isn't it? So for making any sketch, what you need in first is that you need a plane. So we select either of the three planes, like over here. I'm just going to hide these planes again. So in order to hide or show a plane, there's this option called the right click, and then we can either hide it or show it. So I'm just going to make it look neat and show all the planes. Now, if I go to the front plane, now there will be an option called normal to. What does this feature do is that it shows normal to the front plane, and if I press the left click on this, it just does this. And now what all you can see is from the front of the top of the plane. Now it'll be easier for you to make shapes on this. So what you do here next is, first after viewing this front plane from the front, now you have to go to the feature called the sketch. Only once you allow a sketch feature, you will be able to design, plot anything on the front plane. Like imagine I want to draw something with the line simply. What it asks me first is I have to select either of the three planes. Okay, I guess you're able to get an idea about this. So you select one of the planes. Now what it does is that, like, I just selected the front plane, so it will allow me to draw only in the front plane. You can do either that, or else we can exit the sketch and we can just select the front plane and start drawing a sketch. Always remember, I would like to focus on the part that this thing over here is called a sketch. And as I told you, that you will always need a plane in order to sketch something. So keep that in mind, because it's going to become in pretty handy in the future. So you keep drawing sketches using this feature, and you can draw anything like a line or a square, like this, or a square, or a circle, or any of the objects over here. Now I'll just quickly go into the detail of what are the different types of features that are available, or like the different geometries, and I would not want to stress this part a lot. Where is this plane again? Yeah, okay. As I told you, you can draw on either of the three planes: front plane, top plane, or the right plane. Cool. Now we go to, I just explained that in order to draw a sketch, you need a plane. Okay, now your sketch can either be two-dimensional or three-dimensional. And after two-dimensional, I guess you get an idea, like two-dimensional sketches can be made only in a single plane. But if you want to go a step further, what you can do is you can exit the sketch. Now there is always this tiny drop box below sketch, and what you can do with this is called the 3D sketch. Once you enable the 3D sketch, now you don't have to select any plane in order to sketch when you are in a 3D sketch. Okay, check this out. If I press the middle mouse button, what it does is that you can see from hold the middle mouse button, and then you can drag along whichever view you want to see. That's that. One more thing you can do is, like, where you go. Yeah, we were talking about 3D sketches, right? So once I'm trying to draw the sketch over here. So you can start it from any point. It won't ask you in particular कि आपको किस point से जो है ये sketch को start करना है. Hello? Hello? Okay, never mind. तो आप इस point से start किया. So now what it does is that you can see there is a small alphabet called XY written right next to it. I guess it's clear to you guys. XY written. Now this plane, this sketch that you're drawing, right, this line, it's just coming in the XY plane. Now imagine if you do not want it in the XY plane, you can press the tab button that is quite next to the Q button in your keyboard, and you can change the plane. And now you see it comes in the YZ plane, and if you press it again, it can come in the ZX plane. So I do this, I drew in the ZX plane. Now I want to change the plane, I want to go to the other one. So I press the tab button again, I am in the XY plane now. And I press the tab button again, and now you can see I'm in the YZ plane. Now if you take a look from different sides, you can see this. You can see different views of this thing. Now you can understand that this looks something pretty much to a 3D sketch. So I guess this part is clear. And yeah, we will just be moving further ahead. Next is coming to the topic of SolidWorks features. Now, okay, you might want to take interest in this part, because this gets pretty interesting from right now on. Now, you all must be very excited to draw three-dimensional structures in SolidWorks. So a pretty beginner's course is like, what you do is, I told you at the very beginning, for creating anything, you first need a sketch. I mean, any three-dimensional object that you see in this world, it is all obviously having a length, breadth, and a width. It has a dimension. That's what I mean to say. So yeah, obviously you begin it with a sketch, and once you have a sketch on a plane, that is, imagine I have a square on a plane, I drew this square over here. What I can do is this, I can extend the square. For instance, I'm drawing the sketch on the front plane. Okay, and then what I do is I make this, and then I go to the features tab, and there is this option called extrude boss or extrude base. What does this feature do is that it helps you to extend this face. Now you see it asks you the option to select the contours. Now imagine if I select this part. Hold up, wait a minute. Yeah, am I in sketch mode yet? Yes, that's fine. Fine, looks good. Just a moment. There is like oh yeah, that's in 3D sketch. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Disable 3D sketch. Yeah, fine. Yeah, coming to the front plane again. Coming back to the making a square now, and then extending this. Okay, now you can see over here is that you can see this yellowish line over here. You can either extend it here, this way, whichever way you want. Okay, I guess I'm pretty clear over here. So you can do it this way. So as you can see, this arrow is only in one direction. Do keep this in mind because this feature is going to come in handy later on. So if you want, you can extend it from either of the directions, this being the baseline of that, the blue marking that we have over here. And as I told you, you select the contours over here, so it will usually you do it in order to just separate what you want to extend and what you do not want to extend. Now if I press the green arrow over here, it creates this beautiful sketch. I mean, tell me it does not look beautiful. So yeah, that's that. Now as I showed you about the sketch, this can be any of the shapes that you want it to be. It would be a circle. Just delete this one right here. And then what happens is that if I exit the sketch, now I'll show you a problem. What you can do is you can cancel this. Hold up. Set. Give me a minute. Nice. Yeah, and now if I exit it, it does this. Now you might be wondering how does things happen. So if you you should know what just happened over here. So you can do what you can do over here is you can go to this option called the boss extrude, and there is this thing called edit feature. Now, the edit feature dialog box brings you back to the whole thing from where you started all along. As you can see, I brought the circle over here, and this is now cutting with the main diagram of our square. So what it does is that it is disallowing this part to get extruded. I hope I'm making myself clear. This part, this quarter section is unable to get extruded. Now imagine if I want to extrude that part, what I can do is I can select this, and voila, we have it back again. But the sketch, I did not do any changes in the sketch. Coming back to this, now imagine if I do, no, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, if I want to go a step further, what I can do is like I can select this region and then check this out. Now this whole thing is all because we created a sketch. And now, so yeah, that's the whole idea of how to just extrude the whole part. Now, pretty much all the features that you have coming up next are quite interesting as these, but you need to make sure your basics clear, that you need to know like where does the three-dimensional structure emerge from. It always needs a sketch, and the sketch is something that I've shown you here again and again. Keep focusing that point again and again. Now I might use the same sketch, and imagine I just don't want to keep this feature anymore. That is this boss extrude feature. I want to remove it. So I can just press the left click, and what I want to do is there's this delete button right above your backspace button on the keyboard. Just press that, and it will ask you to confirm the delete option. So you just press this, and there you go, you're done. Now, like moving on to the next feature, that is the revolve base for boss, and then sweep boss, lofted boss. These are all the features that we are going to be learning today. So yeah, I guess boss extrude is clear. Is there any doubt anyone has? I guess if there's a silence for more than 5 seconds, that means that everybody understood everything, is it? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. No. Let me see how many people are still there. Yeah, a decent amount. Okay, coming back to SolidWorks features. Now, the next feature over here we're going to learn is Revolve. Now, Revolve, you just take the same sketch, and I don't want to make new sketches every time and waste either of our time. So let's see what we can cook over here. Going to Revolve base feature, you can see this. Now, as you can see over here, the Revolve asks you a certain amount of questions over here, like axis of revolution. Okay, so imagine I choose this as my axis of revolution, and I keep telling you what is the selected contour. So I select this area as the selected contour. As you can see, this yellowish line shows how the diagram is going to look like. Also, as you can see over here, there is this feature called blind. You can bring it up to a vertex, up to surface, offset from surface, or midplane. I'm going to explain it to you as we move on further into the video. There's an option of changing the angles as well. That is how much extrusion you want. Imagine if I set it to something like 90. Only 90 degree of the whole thing is going to get revolved around this axis, and this will be the selected contour. Now if I press enable, this is what you get. I mean it's interesting, isn't it? Now yeah, that's that. What's next? Now yeah, we just covered up this revolve feature. So yeah, you got an idea about the sketch and everything else you need to know. Do remember that if you want to, there are always two types of changes that you can make to any three-dimensional figure. That is, it's going to be either in the feature, and if you want to make a change in the feature, that you have to press the edit feature. Okay, what it does is that it changes your feature, like how much you want to change it. Like you want to change the angle of extrusion, or you want to change the contour, or you want to change the line of revolution. I can just delete this line of revolution, and if I want, I can revolve it around this point. And imagine this. Okay, and edit revolve feature again, and then I remove hold up, clear selections, and just select this. So you see, like, just the main sketch, that's the idea that we keep, and we're able to make so many possible options with just that. Okay, now that's that. Now that was about the edit feature option. Now this as soon as you drop down the feature, you see that there is an edit sketch option. Now I told you that the sketch is the main thing that comprises the whole three-dimensional structure. So if you want to make any change in the sketch, what you do is you press the edit sketch button, and what it does is that it allows you to make changes in the sketch. I guess I'm making myself clear that it's allowing you to make changes only in the sketch and not in the feature. So yeah, once you make changes in your sketch, imagine like I want to make this circle have a larger diameter. So I go to the smart dimension, I press dimension, and then I want to make this diameter look more big. So I press, just scroll it higher, and I get a larger diameter. Clean, isn't it? Now, as soon as I'm done with that, I exit the sketch. And now you see that there is a change in this. Do remember that when you make changes in the sketch and you do something stupid, like I wouldn't want to call it really stupid, but imagine you make a mistake, like let's see what mistake you can make over here. Yeah, if I make the diameter like large enough, pretty large, something like this. Is it still? Yeah. Is it working? Let's see. Yeah, it just did that. No, so yeah, the whole point of me telling this is that often what happens is that if you try to make changes in the sketch and then you exit the sketch, what happens is that it shows an error, and that error happens only because it has changed your feature, and this feature is not able to create a new geometry. So in order to fix that, you have to make sure that you make changes in the sketch such that it does not disturb the feature. I hope I'm making myself clear. I wish I could explain it in a better way, but I don't hear any replies from you guys, so I think it's clear.
Yeah, it's better.
Nice. Glad to hear that one voice. Nice. Now, section view. Section view is our next feature. It's a pretty interesting feature. I mean, it's helping you look in the depths of various structures that you keep making. And it is kind of very important to focus on this part, is because you often think about what lies inside the inside of various things. Hold up, give me a minute. I'll just make this small. There you go. Exit sketch. Beautiful. Now, the section feature. As you press on the section feature, it allows you to provide three options. Now, as you zoom in this feature, you can see that there is this called section 1, and you can choose it to be parallel to either of the three planes. I guess you must be remembering the three planes that we were talking about in the beginning, the front, top, and the right. Yeah, yeah, that's the one. I guess you recollected. So yeah, you can create a plane, and that plane will help you see through the section of that geometry. Now you pull this along, you can see this section. As you go ahead, you can see how far this section goes. What does it look from this point? It looks like this. And if you pull it more, how does it look? You want to see from here, how does it look? Clear, right? Now if you want to change the way you want to see the section, I mean, make it parallel to the top plane. It goes like this. Pull it up and see this. You take it all the way down. It is often used while you're making assemblies, because I mean, there's certain holes or something that you create and you're not able to mate stuffs with this. The section feature comes in pretty handy. You can either make it with this. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's all it is inside the section, and it just helps you give an idea. And if you just press the green arrow over here, it will create the section view. And in order to disable it, you just click this button again. I guess yeah, that's all to it. Yeah, that's all. Now, what's next is we see sweep feature, lofted boundary in which, yeah, that's all. Fine. So we'll be ending on this lecture pretty soon. Now I'll just give an idea about what the sweep feature is. Let me just see the time right now, real quick. 12:36. No, that's fine. So we're on time. We're on board. Let's go. Now I might just have to delete this whole thing right here. Quick. Delete. Yep. Delete. Yep. Now, in order for you guys to understand what is sweep and what is yeah, this sweep, that's a sweep over here, and lofted boundaries and stuff, blah, blah, yada yada yada. So over here, like explaining you what coming back to the front plane, top plane. I mean, like either of the planes, it just makes it comfortable. I always prefer the front plane. Okay. Now over here, what you want to keep in mind is that you always do remember that. Hold up. Yeah. Yeah. A quick reminder or a tip, if you want, you just can note it down anywhere. If you press the control button and the middle mouse button, you can move this thing freely. Yeah. I mean, I was a beginner at SolidWorks and I just pressed these two random buttons, and yeah, I was surprised that we can do this as well. So it's fun. I mean, like it's something that will come in handy later on when you use the software. Yeah, that's that. Now, yeah. So yeah, about the sketch, you start a sketch, make anything like the most common shape is a circle. In order to do that, you start a sketch, and then you do this, and then this, and this. There you go. Often now you see this is offset button. You can create an offset of the entirety over here. What it does is like you can increase the distance of this as well. It just creates the same thing but with a certain distance from the original geometry. So it's like a duplicate of it, but it's having the same center. Okay. So yeah, it just hold up. Yeah, I just press the middle mouse button and you can see my geometry is all messed up. So what do I do now? I press this and I see it from the front again. This option over here, the view orientation, it is very useful. Yeah, it is. So again, I move it behind here and there. I want to make this distance less because we're going to use it for the next feature coming up. Now exit the sketch. Yeah, yeah, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't suggest you to exit the sketch again and again, like, because as long as you're in the sketch, it is very easy to use these features. Like if you exit the sketch, it becomes a little complex to do the whole features thing. So yeah, there's this option called the sweep boss and base. Now you need to keep one thing in mind that you need not just one sketch but two sketches in order to properly be able to use this option. So what we are gonna do over here is like we exited that sketch, exit, and then we go to another plane that is not the front plane. So let me just go to the top plane real quick. Now you can see from here this option, this middle thing, the center of the circle. What I can do is I can view it from the angle again, yeah. And then on the top plane, as you can see over here, I try to create a new sketch over here. And then I take the spline feature over here and I try to create, hold up, what here? I'll spline. Yeah, it's the spline is like probably the most fun feature to use. It's like draw random lines anywhere you want. Like this. Nice. Now yeah. Hold on. Can this thing come over here? Yeah. Now, always when you create any point or anything, there's always this feature called the point. When you see this thing over here, this green small tiny thing, if you right click over here, you can and press the delete option, you can delete it. And what it exactly is that it is a relation, and a relation is always created when you use a reference point in order to make anything. Now I can move this and I can bring it to the top of this circle over here. I can always do that. Imagine if I want to make these 2 points coincident. So what I do is I press control and I select the 2 points. Now you have a lot of options over here, and one is like add relations. It can so you can make this 2 points horizontal, vertical, or coincident. So what I'm going to choose over here is to make it coincident, and somehow it is still over here. Well, let's just deal with that. Coming over here. Nice. Hold up, give me a moment. Just take sketch. Come back to this one. Yeah. This circle right here. And then exit sketch. And then coming back to the top plane, sketching over here, and then doing this. I guess this time it should be in the center. Yeah, that's nice. So yeah, coming back to the sweep boss feature. Now you can see there are a couple of options over here. That is the sketch profile or the circular profile. Now you can do two of the things. Like as you see over here, this blue thing little over here, and there's another blue thing over here. So this one, what it asks is what is the profile shape that you want. Like imagine a pipe. So if I tell you about a pipe, what are the two things that comes inside your head? The first thing that will come is that how long is the pipe, and the second thing is that what is the type of pipe it is. Is it a circular pipe or is it a square pipe? I know no one must have ever seen a square pipe, but I guess it's used in ducts and ACs, and yeah, it's used in a few places. You must be aware if you have seen any ventilating systems and stuff. Nice. So yeah, over here you can select the geometry of what you want it to the profile to be. So if I select this, so it selects the whole sketch. Remember the sketch that we were talking about? So those are the first sketch that we made, and this over here is a second sketch there. As soon as you select this, it asks you, it goes hops off to the next option and asks you what you want to select as the second option. And this over here, if you carefully notice, this is the path. Now it will ask you what path you want this profile to run about. You press this. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's just give it a try. Hold on a minute. The sweep could not be completed because it intersected while passing. Okay. There is a tiny error in this thing. Hold on. If I make the sketch a little bit huge, it will not intersect. I guess. I mean, it's worth a try. I'm not guessing exactly, relying completely on guess, but what happens is that the sketch, this feature, hold on, often brings you to such close paths that you're not able to think about what to do. Like, hold on. Oh my goodness. Like this, and then sketch this and select this. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So now, as you press click, and there you go. You're able to create a pipe. I guess everyone is kind of able to find this thing interesting, because if not, I can just speed it up and like get it over with fast. If I'm slow, just let me know, and if you guys want me to be fast, I can do it a little bit faster as well. Now going to sweep, that was the sweep feature, and over here, as you can see, I had this thing completely filled. I can do that as well. Like I can edit this sketch. What I can do is I can delete this offset, then I exit the sketch, and boom, there you go. Now it's filled. Now another thing I would want to show you here is that if you delete the sketch feature over here, and you just take this one little sketch over here, and then you press you just imagine you just have this curved line over here, this line that you created, and use the sweep boss feature over here. There is a thing called the circular profile. If you click on that option, what it does is that about this line, it creates a circular uh, sweep. sweep boss. So what exactly is this? That you can either change the diameter of this to make it more thick. You also have an option of thin feature. What happens is that this thin feature allows you to make it a hollow pipe. You can set the thickness of the pipe can be 5. So yeah, this feature is something pretty handy. I mean, it reduces the task of making two different sketches, and yeah, it is like I see. Check this sketch out. If I delete this sketch, it doesn't even matter. All it needs is one spline. That is, it's like you just need a thin wire, and you're just able to create the whole what do you call the casing of it. So yeah, that's that. It's kind of fun. I think now, what's next? Sweep feature. That's that. Next is the lofted boss and the boundary boss feature. So this feature over here, this one is actually there's a very minor difference between both these features. And I mean, if you give any competitive exams based on SolidWorks or something, yeah, you're most likely there is going to be someone who's going to ask you the difference between lofted boss or boundary boss. So yeah, as you can see over here, it's I'll just make it clear as I make it full figure. Close this, don't save, make a new file. Now, there's going to be a lot of composition of new stuff in this, so I would want you to pay a little bit attention. So I take the top plane this time, and I create anything you want. I'm just going to go with ellipse this time, and I make this a little more thick, just like this, and like this. Nice. And now I exit the sketch. Okay, that's that. Did I not exit the sketch? Yeah, there. Now, as you go to the features option, the ones we were using to learn all the different features about, now we can do is we can go to this reference option right here, and it shows you a lot of options like a plane, axis, coordinate system, point, mate reference. So the plane, this option does is that at the beginning of the lecture, I used to, I'm sorry for the background noises. At the beginning of the lecture, I told you about whenever you want to create a sketch, you always need to have a plane. And the three basic planes that I told you, imagine if you want to make something beyond that plane or something not on these planes, because these are the only three options that you have. If you want something not on that plane, what you can do is that, just give me a moment. Yeah, what you can do is you can always create a new plane, and just keep that in mind that if in order to create a new plane, you always need to have the three basic planes. The three basic planes here are going to help you make a plane anywhere inside this whole dimensionless area. I mean, like this whole never-ending place. So I'm just going to give you a small little intro of that. I press reference and I press plane. Now you see this is a lot of stuff asking me over here. Yeah, delete. Okay, so if you create the option to create a new plane, it's going to ask you about references. So what you do is you choose the first reference and you go to this little tiny thing which is helping you create the whole thing, whole sketch or the design. Now you can select either of the three planes. So I'm going to press the top plane right here. And now you see that there's a tiny blue color plane over here. And if I show it from a different angle, you can see that there's a small distance from this, from our basic plane and this the blue plane. Now I'm going to explain you what that small distance is right away. You see this 10 mm over it here, it's shown, and this thing over here is the distance that this plane, the plane on which we do ellipse, is, and okay, from the other plane. So imagine if I extend the distance, the plane keeps going high. What I can do is I can make it on the other side. If I want, I can make multiple planes. I can make 2 or 3 planes, and then there's always an option to make it either parallel or, hold on, I'll make it just less. You can make it perpendicular to this. Now, if you make a perpendicular plane, it will make it perpendicular to the top plane. And yeah, you all know what's perpendicular to the top plane. That is either the front or the right plane.
You can make it either coincident, like this plane can lie right exactly on the top plane, and that's that. So I'm going to go back to the parallel plane and then do this one. And I'm going to set a distance of around 140 mm. That's a lot. Let's go a little down or a little more. So it'll help you understand easily. There you go. Beautiful. Now, you can see if you go from the top view, it seems like it's on the plane. But if you see from it on another angle, you can see that this plane is not on that. Now, I'm going to create another sketch on this plane, as I keep telling you. Do remember that this plane comes as a default and its name is plane 1. You can always press the F2 key and you can change the name of the plane. I mean, plane, that's it, anything plane. I'm actually very bad at making things, so just deal with it. Cool. Now, I said this and I exit the sketch. Why do I exit the sketch? Because yeah, it's still in this plane mode. I mean, I can change. I want to go back to this anything plane. Go top of this, and I'm going to create a new sketch. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a circle and go. Nice. I'm going to hide the exit the sketch. Hide this plane as well. Now you see there are two sketches on two different planes, and this feature is going to help us get an idea about what is the lofted boss feature. Now, if you press the lofted boss, there's a lot of options you see over here. Now one of them is profiles. You select these profile and this profile. Now you can see there's this green tiny little thing over here. You keep twisting it and turning it. And what it does is it changes the whole curve that is guiding. You see this thing over here. This pink line that is highlighted over here is called the guiding curve. So you can always change it by revolving this around, and it will change the whole geometry of the shape. You know, if you want to make your own default guided curve, what you can do is that you can come to this plane, and this one is the right plane. You can sketch on this, take this, and then from this point, hold up. This, and this. Nice. So yeah, I mean it's still gonna create those issues, but yeah, I can just keep it. So you can always create a random plane, random guiding curve. Coming back to this hold up. This feature, the lofted boss feature. We just use these two guiding curves, and then we create a lofted boss. And this right here is a loft. Pretty interesting, right? But yeah. So yeah, this is a lofted feature, and pretty much very similar to this is the next feature that we are going to learn, and that is the boundary boss feature. I mean, most of you are going to ask me what is going to be the difference between these two if after the end of this, what image is going to be. Like, see, I just made this thing again. I mean, to be honest, this doesn't look any different to me with what was the older version of this. But there's one basic difference between both of these. I'm going to show it by editing the feature over here. See, as soon as you select the two sketches or the two guiding curve, the two sketches or the two profiles that you're going to use in order to create a boundary boss, it shows you these tiny options over here. That is direction vector and normal to profile. Like if I go to normal to profile, and if I go to normal to profile again, what it does is that the beginning of this guiding curve, this as you can see before, it was just a straight line covering it. This was the pink line was the guiding curve, and it was like a straight, not exactly a straight, but it had a little less curvature. But this one is having a more curvature because the guiding curve, the profile that is from this profile that is coming out, it is perpendicular, that is normal to the profile, and this is also the normal to the profile. You see this normal feature that you have right here. This is the main difference between a boundary base and a lofted base. You can never do this thing in a lofted base feature. So this is actually the whole reason for me to be explaining you boundary boss. And yeah, that's that. So you just remember that you're able to create sketches which are normal to the profile. created like this. It's like, looks like a human body without a head, without a chest. That's got any humor in it. Nice. So that's that. And yeah, so we have, I guess, pretty much covered most of the basic features about this, and I'm just gonna go a little faster right now. So that's that. Let's see. Now that's the end of lecture one. Let's go to lecture two. I guess if you guys are exhausted, you might want to take a small break. I think that's a no. So you guys can go on. That's good. Where is the next lecture? Lecture two. Right. Let's go. Our second lecture. I'm just gonna quickly sum up what comes next to this, because whatever I've explained to you is the basic of what is involved in creating sketches and different types of figures. And once you're able to clear that part, the rest is just to walk on water. Extrude cut. Now, what is this thing again? Lectures, then Solidworks new, then symbol, hurt. Now, there is 6 faces on this cuboid, as you can see. And yeah, these are 6 planes. So you just have 6 planes in order to draw anything you want. I'm going to select this plane right here, look in the front of it, then create a new sketch. Now, do remember, I told you in the beginning that this thing over here is a sketch and this thing over here is edit sketch. There's a very minor difference between these both, but because the symbol looks pretty much very similar to me. I mean, if not to you, but at the beginning I had a major confusion with this and I used to mess up my project because of this. So if you create edit, press edit sketch, what it does is that this cuboid, the whole thing that you see over here, this thing, it's made up of a sketch, okay? And this feature is gonna edit the sketch that you're used in order to make this cuboid. If I press this right now, it's gonna edit the sketch. So gonna allow you to make changes in the sketch. I don't want to do that. I want to make a new sketch on this plane. So I press new sketch, and now I have the ability to create a new sketch on this plane. Nice. And none of the other planes, I'm not going to be able to draw anything on any of the other planes. In order to do anything on any other plane, you have to exit the sketch and select this plane. See, now I can draw on this plane. There's a dark blue color on this. This means you're able to draw anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and choose the circle option right here and do this. Okay. And now you might be wondering, why did I create the circle over here? So that's because I want to explain you the next feature that comes is that is Extrude Cut. So it's pretty much the brother of Extrude, but what it does is that instead of making new material, what it does is it's cutting the material through this. So you go all the way like this. You can set any of the 3 options, like you can go through all the way in through all both the sides and up to the next surface. There's a lot of options. And then just click and boom. You can see there's still a whole line inside that. It has not gone all the way in. So what I can do is I can edit feature. I can go to through all and boom. You can see there's a hole all the way inside this. Isn't that great? I mean, yeah, it is. So yeah, that's extruded cut. And yeah, I'm just going to remove that feature real quick. Next is Revolve Cut. It's pretty much same as the Revolve feature, but what it does is, hold on, yeah. Instead of making like new material, again, it just cuts the different material from the face. So like, if I want to use this feature over here, I'm going to select this, and the axis of revolution is going to be this, contour is going to be this, and boom. Again, you see there's a hole, and its axis of revolution is this line over here, and it has created a hole. That is a revolved hole. It's not a regular hole. It's not a straight hole that you used using the extrude cut. As you can see, the major difference between extrude cut and revolve cut is extrude cut helps you in cutting through all the way in a straight line, but revolve cut, it is used to cut only in a circular direction. I'll go ahead and delete this again. Now, sweep cut, loft cut, boundary cut. So, I mean, if you have an idea about what all these features do, I don't think this is going to be any difficult for you to understand. So, like this whole tab over here, it's used to create stuff, like new material. But this tab over here, it is the destruction stuff. It is just used to cut out different things from the solid material, obviously, that is you're going to make. Okay, now give me a minute. Yeah, so all the boring features are now gone. Now let's go to the next feature, that is the fillet. Fillet is quite an interesting feature. I mean, basically it reduces the task of making new sketches and cutting an offshore and making so many errors and just trying to cut right take a long time for cutting any side or anything. Now what it does is that it has like this face over here. So this fillet feature, as you can see, it's pretty. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's pretty versatile. As you can see, I selected the face over here. I can select this edge, and show full preview. What it does is that it creates a fillet, and it looks something like this. It has a radius. It always asks you for a radius. That means it does have a center point somewhere over here. And then boom, you make this. Now you must be wondering what I did the other time around. So I'm just going to reduce the radius so we can get a better understanding, clear the selections, and select this whole face. Now this face is connected to 4 edges. Now all these 4 edges will get filleted with the radius of 2 mm. I mean, it looks good. Usually people use this for, it comes in various exams as well, but it's just for making it look more beautiful and stuff. And yeah, you can always do that by using the extrude cut option, but in that way it just gets a little bit lengthy process. This picture right here. Now linear pattern. Now imagine what I do over here is I go to the surface, create a sketch, circle, rectangle like this. Extrude. Yeah, a quick tape over extrude. I mean, like you can always make it diverge or converge. It can be like this. You can make it like this, or you can make it draft outwards. You can give it an angle like this. Just gonna keep it short at 1 degrees, or maybe just not make it at all. And then there you go this way. A linear pattern. Now this pattern feature over here is going to explain you or ask you what direction you want to make this pattern. So I take this line right here, and then it's going to ask you what will feature the spacing and in between the instances. You can make it like less, like 10. Oh no. And how much of these you want to make, like how many instances you want to make. I just want to make 2 for time being because it's, yeah, you don't have a lot of time. Now you're going to select which feature you want to do that. This feature right here, it's going to make this feature twice or 3 times. So you see, if I increase the number, it can make it more and more times. Increase the distance, it increases the distance. I'm going to keep it low, and this a little bit less, and boom. So When you make a linear pattern, this was the line about which you created this pattern and you replicated it 3 times at a distance of 10 mm each. So that is linear pattern to you guys. Now, if you want to use circular pattern, it's quite the same thing. It's just used to make a pattern around circular direction. I'll just show that to you real quick. And what else? Mirror and curve driven pattern. Yeah, you must get an idea, but I'll just show you this pattern. Now go to the circular pattern. Again, select this little bad boy over here. And yeah, one thing you need to keep in head is that in order to make this hold up, go to the sketch, edit sketch. Delete this. No. Okay. Imagine if I make something like this, yeah, on this plane, I make a small square. Okay, and then I extrude it a little smaller. Now, okay. Now coming to the circular pattern. Now I choose this feature over here, and then I use this direction about which I want to rotate, make the pattern about. It shows so many instances. I make it lesser. You can change, you can amount for how much spread you want. If you want to make it be it less than 340 or 360, like it's the whole point of using it is to make a full 360 about it. Just enable it, and there you go. Get this beautiful look right here. Just love to see it. That's that. Yeah, that's all. So I guess I've covered a few much topics without looking at what exactly is. Whole wizard, extrude cut, revolve cut, lofted cut, shell. So these are the examples of extruded cut, whole wizard, and then you have revolve cut. I just showed you how to use it. Lofted cut, and then fillet. Shell is something I need to show you. Rip and mirror. I said trap. Yeah, that's a lot of things. Cool. Now shell. So I'm pretty sure that it's clear to you what circular pattern and all does. Now I'm just going to delete this real quick. Now I'm going to go to this tab, create a new sketch, and then go to this, create another new sketch. Boom. Extend this real quick. Nice. Now we come to this rib feature right here. A rib is basically, as you can see over here, this tiny thing. What it does is it has two cuboidal structures that are very tiny, and it tries to create a kind of a
Yeah,
slanting structure.
And then this slanting structure is something that you want to bring in the middle of these two surfaces. Fine.
there is no one in the meeting. Everyone has left.
Okay. I mean, you're still there, right? If you're interested, you can carry on.
Okay. So, how many slides are there?
I can just take the slide and end up, and then we can probably continue tomorrow if you guys want.
Okay.
So yeah, I can carry on the class tomorrow if you guys don't mind. Okay, so I guess I'll be ending the meeting soon.
Okay.
Okay,
Can,
okay.
thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for attending.